Hey everyone, Schnitzer here and welcome to a brand new series on my channel. Last summer I did a first impression on one of the summer anime and it got so many views, way more views than I ever expected, and it wasn't even that good of a video. And people have been requesting for me to do more first impressions. Instead of doing one individually for each anime, which would take forever, instead I'm going to be doing one video giving a first impression based on like the first or second episode. Please just sit back and relax and we'll get on with the show. Okay, let's get started. The first anime we're going to start off with is called Guilty Crown. We have this singing girl in the beginning and then she's like stealing something and she gets hurt and they fight her and they call her a terrorist, and then you get this guy who runs into her and she's like in his secret hiding place. The police come and capture her and he goes to find this person who this girl is supposed to bring this thing to, and so he finally gets there and then he goes and finds a girl and pulls out a sword out of her chest, and he gets the sword and he beats everyone up and they like do some stuff, and that's the first episode. It was kind of confusing. It reminded me of Code Geass because the robots kind of like skated like Code Geass robots do. First episode I think was good. The artwork and animation were really good. It was interesting enough for me to want to watch more. Really don't know what's going on. I'm not a big fan of robots fighting or futuristic worlds. I'm also not a big fan of giant swords, magical swords, but we're just gonna give it a go. Next up is Kimi Toboku, and this anime is interesting. It's different. I've seen a ton of animes where there are like 4 or 5 girls and they just go through their everyday life. This anime is about 5 guys who go through their everyday school life. So the characters are, you have this smart, responsible guy with glasses, with black hair, and then you have these 2 twins, and they're really like mellow. And then you have the boy with the long red hair, who honestly I thought was a girl to begin with. And the 5th character is supposed to be an exchange student, and he has like spiky yellow hair, but he hasn't shown up yet. So this anime is basically like A-Channel or K-On or Asumi and Dai or Lucky Star, only with guys. It's just their everyday lives and what they do. And so far, it's really interesting. I think it's a good thing to have guys instead of girls. It's like a change. So I think it's going to be a good series. So far it's good, and I'm really hoping it'll stay good. Next we have Chihaya Furu, and I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but I'm just guessing. This anime is about this girl who really loves to play Karuta, this card game. And it's a really interesting card game. You like memorize 100 poems and they're all like laid out, and a person will read off a line of the poem and you memorize it so you know the rest of the poem, grab it before the other person. So this girl is trying to make a club in high school for Karuta so that they can play it. And she did have this friend in like middle school who was great at Karuta. He wanted to be the best Karuta master and play it. But he stopped playing, and she believes that if her and her friend starts this club to play Karuta, then he will come back. I loved it. I mean, I loved it so much. Like after I finished watching it, I was just like happy. You know when you watch an anime, you just feel happy afterwards? That's how I felt. I really think it's going to be one of my favorite ones of the fall season. For this next anime, I'm going to have to read it off because I honestly can't say this, remember it? It's Boku wa Tomodachi ga Sakunai. So this anime is about this guy who is a transfer student. Everyone thinks he's a delinquent. He's all alone, he doesn't have any friends, so he's walking and he sees this other girl who he realizes is all alone, and she's talking, and he's like, wow, I've never seen her talk before. So he opens the door and turns out the girl's talking to an imaginary friend, which she has named Tomo-chan. And she's all like, I don't know how to make friends. And he's all like, well, I don't make any friends either. She decides to make the Neighbors Club, which is a club where you make friends. I like the characters that like have no friends or are lonely, because I'm kind of like that myself, so kind of get that attachment. So I'm looking forward to what this anime can offer. Hopefully there won't be too much like fan service. I'm hoping like in every anime I'm watching there won't be too much fan service, because heaven knows I've seen enough fan service for a lifetime. Next up is Tamayoda Hitotose. This is actually an anime about like 4 girls and their everyday lives. So this girl likes to take pictures and her dad likes to take pictures, so that's why she likes to take pictures. But her dad passed away, and so she's sad about it, but she finally gets over it and she decides to take pictures again because she loves it. And so she moves to this new area and enters a new high school. Just one of those life school animes. I really enjoy those animes a lot, so this is just, I'm hoping this anime is good. Next up is another long name, Mashiro Iro Symphony Love is Pure White. I have a feeling this anime is going to be kind of fan servicey or towards the girls, because there's like 2 guys and like 6 and 7, 8 girls. You you know, just throwing that out there. So basically this anime is about this all-girl school who starts to have guys come into the school. But they have these test students from another school. They're supposed to test and see if it can become a girl-boy school. So it's about these test students going into the all-girl school and they're like, whatever they do. I don't really know. The artwork was really pretty. I love all the girls' hairstyle. Animation was good. Don't really know what to expect from this show, so just gonna have to wait and see. Next is Mirai Nikkai. I'd read like a preview for this series in the back of a manga. I remember thinking, oh, that looks really interesting. I want to get the manga when it comes out, but lo and behold, the anime is coming out. This anime is about this boy who writes a diary. He writes his everyday activities in a diary in his phone, and he also has this like imaginary world and this like giant robot freakish looking guy who's like a god of his imaginary world. And suddenly his diary on his cell phone is like telling his future. So apparently this diary thing is called a future diary, and he's not the only one who has one because the little god person of his imaginary world wants to play a game, so he gave out like I think 13 or 11, 12, somewhere around there of these future diaries where it reads off your future. All these people with these future diaries are playing a survival game and they're supposed to fight it out using the future diary, and whoever lives in the end will become the new god of the imaginary world. Interesting plot, not exactly sure how this is gonna work out. I think it'll be good. I mean, with the concept it seems good. We're just gonna have to keep on watching with this one. Next we have 5-Brain Kami no Puzzle. When I first saw this one I was like ew, because I read the description. It's about like a guy solving puzzles, and I watched the first episode and can't say I was too like whoa amazing about it. For one thing, I don't like the art style at all. It's kind of like a Prince of Tennis kind of Yu-Gi-Oh-ish art style, which I do not like at all. About this guy, and he solved this one puzzle and got like this wrist thing. Not exactly sure what that's about. Not sure what's going to happen. Can't say it really impressed me with the first episode. I might drop it because I bet you a lot of these animes that I saw and I'm gonna drop because I usually do. And if I don't like the artwork, I tend to like shy away from the series. Next up we have Ungo. When I first read the description for Ungo, I was like really excited. I was like, whoa, this looks interesting because it's supposed to be about a detective show. And then when I actually watched the first episode, it wasn't as interesting as I thought. I've seen a lot of good detective shows. For instance, Black Butler's kind of detective-ish, and I love Black Butler so much. Not to mention Case Closed is one of the best detective things ever. You have the two main characters, like a tall guy with kind of like weird black hair, and then you have this really cool character. I love this character. He's like little, and he wears a little panda hat. He's really cute, but something that was weird, he like turns into his like boss woman lady, and I didn't like that. He was the only good character in the show, and they like ruined him. The voice actor plays Hijikata in Gyokuki, and also plays Urahara in Bleach. He has a voice of one of the guys, and the guy's like really ugly, so seeing my lovely Hijikata's voice coming out of that body is not very pleasant. I can't say that I particularly liked this series, the first episode, and I was really disappointed, but I'm gonna stick and watch the second one and see if it gets any better. The like detective part wasn't even that interesting. When he cracked the case, it wasn't even that good. Now we come to our last anime, and that is Bento. So this anime was kind of weird. So this series starts off with this guy like laying on the ground, and then he gets up because he's hungry and he wants to get a bento, but then he gets punched and he goes to the hospital, and then he recovers from the hospital and he doesn't remember anything, and then he goes to the supermarket again to try to get a bento, which has now been half off. It's like an all chaos war to get this bento, and this one girl is like a snow witch, and she like fights them all off, and he keeps getting beat up for getting this bento. And you also have this really crazy girl. I don't really know what her deal is, but she's there too, and he just wants to get this half off bento, but he can't get it because he keeps getting beat up. And the Ice Witch girl is like really mad at him, and that's basically the first episode. Can't say much about it because it's just kind of weird. Although I do like the weird anime because it's original and you've never seen anything like it, so Bento, we're just gonna see how it goes. So there you have it, my first impression on the fall anime. I'm gonna keep watching and see if they get any better. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out some of these fall anime because there are some really good ones. Before you go, please comment below and tell me if you like these and if you want me to keep doing them. If they're too boring and long, if you're not interested, then just comment below and tell me what you think. So yeah, goodbye everyone and have a great day.